Okay, ladies and gents, it's time for Rage in the Cage.
Finish him.
So strap in and join the fight in the comments below. Pick a side, Team Mark or Team J. Who will it be?
Yes, here we go. Rage in the Cage, best movie soundtrack. All right, so yeah, we have 3 teams today. Team Mark, Team J, Team Joseph. We had to do this. We've been aching to get back into the cage. We found an excuse. So, Joseph, since you're our guest, I'm going to let you go first. Just tell everybody why that the Batman Forever soundtrack slaps so hard.
Okay. Let's just keep the fact here. Kiss from a Rose, greatest song ever. We don't need to even talk about it. Seal, that buttery voice, that melody. It's got it all. And, just him wearing the duster, and it's snowing outside, and he's got no shirt on and leather pants. It's beautiful. But we put Seal aside, even though we shouldn't. We should never ignore Seal. Look at it as a whole, though. I will be brutally honest on this. U2 is trash. However, Hold Me, Thrill Me, Kiss Me, Kill Me, where did that come from? If a movie as bad as Batman Forever can inspire that song from that band, there's some magic going on here. And, it's hard to really... I mean, anyone who likes, the cheesy 90s beginnings of pop punk, Smash It Up by The Offspring? Come on now.
Yes! I'm all about that track. I love Offspring.
And then, you go down this track list. I'm pulling it up right now just to look at it. Offspring covering The Damned. We know it's good. Nick Cave? That's one of the best Nick Cave songs ever released. I don't know who Michael Hutchence even is. But he
singer from NXS.
There we go. But, Sunny Day Real Estate 8, that song is fire. But I don't want to I don't know if I can overstate this. Massive Attack with Tracy Thorn covering Marvelettes.
Yep.
Come on. It's just.
I'm not knocking you. It's just great because you're bringing me these flashbacks. I'm getting these flashbacks from a long time ago, from a long bygone era that I missed so much, and it's definitely worth re-exploring. I'm looking at the chat right now. Everybody's jumping on Mark's bandwagon right now.
Because they know the truth, man.
And I got some people saying, wait a minute, you guys are all wrong. Everyone's the Rock of Ages soundtrack. Okay, yo, Mark, go ahead. Mark, take it away, man. Just bring your rage.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get through this thing called life. I mean, everybody knows that line. Everybody knows that line, right? It was the definitive album of the 80s without even being attached to a movie. Every song from beginning to end weaves an important, powerful, emotional tapestry that created an entire mood that made you think about why it would be great to live in Minneapolis. You know what I mean? And, it's just every song on that, Let's Go Crazy, When Doves Cry,
yes.
Purple Rain, the title track,
yes.
The Beautiful Ones, Darling Nikki, every single one of those was a hit, and every single one of those is timeless. You could play it today, and it still doesn't feel dated, doesn't feel stale, feels fresh, feels different. On top of that, both of you guys picked soundtracks that are essentially compilations, right? They basically are done by a number of different bands. This is one guy that wrote all of these amazing songs and performed all of them and produced all of them. And it's just, every time I hear it, I just want to purify myself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka. Doesn't get any better than that.
I'm dying because all I can think right now is the Dave Chappelle spoof. That's all I'm thinking about right now. And Charlie Murphy's like, yeah, because Purple Rain just came out and Prince was the shit.
Right. Assemble your crew.
Okay, Lou, you just won the whole chat over, Mark. Even Titan Goji, who's not even old enough to drink yet, is siding. Listen, here's gonna be my argument. Okay, I feel like maybe everyone in this chat either maybe they love Prince and that's fine. I'm never gonna knock the Prince. He's like one of the best artists ever. I'm never gonna knock him for that. But Judgment Night, I feel like, is a very overlooked soundtrack because the movie was so goddamn terrible. It definitely brought us the best soundtrack ever assembled because now you have your essential rock and heavy metal artists, but the rap groups of the 80s and 90s that were so big at the time working together. Slayer and Ice-T, Run DMC and Live in Color, Cypress Hill and Pearl Jam. Let me repeat that. Cypress Hill and Pearl Jam on a track together. Faith No More and Booyah Tribe. I mean, my God, Helmet and House of Pain. Like, these collabs are unheard of. Like, what Aerosmith and Run DMC did way back when, 1986, Judgment Night took that formula to the next level. And I just love this goddamn soundtrack. I recommend it to everybody. Anyone who's a fan of those bands and that era of music have to check out this soundtrack up. And the bands and the rap groups who are still performing to this day still perform those songs live in concert to this day. Team J.
Make a strong case.
Team J.
So guys in the chat, like, let us know, like, what do you guys think? Like, who you with? Whose side are you on?
Listen, we all know, like, I know Mark's running away with us right now, but I really highly recommend it for those. I feel like everyone needs to, like, rediscover these soundtracks. This is what we really want to do. We all three of us have a musical background. We've all worked in the industry, and we, like, these are soundtracks that we want to get out there right now. Like,
right.
Do yourself a favor. Even if you haven't heard of them, check them out. Or if you haven't heard them in a while, take a re-listen because these soundtracks will never be replicated again.
Right. Truthfully, I love all three of those soundtracks. I mean, I side with any of them.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, that was so much fun. Holy smokes, man. So okay. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm real quick. My favorite track of Purple Rain, "Let's Go Crazy." I mean, come on, come on. It doesn't matter what kind of music you listen to. That's a great song. As for Batman Forever, listen, my older sister was the biggest Offspring fan, and that's all I heard growing up. So that song, to me, it was like my pick. I know everyone talks about Seal and Kiss by a Rose. That video dominated MTV. Directed by Joel Schumacher, by the way. Fantastic video. I mean, when I think MTV, I think of that video. But to me, Offspring. Come on, man. So those are my two picks for both of those soundtracks. As far as Judgment Night, oh, man, it's such a tough pick. I think my favorite track in there is the is Booyah Tribe with Faith No More, because that one, again, I don't think Faith No More ever collaborated with anybody else. So, and so that's my favorite song off of that album is that track there. But every single one of those collaborations, fan-fucking-tastic.
Yeah, definitely better than the movie itself,
yep.
Right? I mean, but I agree, man. Like, if we're doing picks off of each one, I'd say for Batman Forever, I don't know the name of the song, but Susie and the Banshees did a song on there, on that soundtrack, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's called, like, Face to Face. Joseph, am I off on that, or do you remember?
I don't think it's Susie.
I remember the song, but I just don't remember the title of the song. Anyway, Susie and the Banshees has a song in there, and that, to me, that's the best song of the album. And then as far as, like, Judgment Night, I gotta go with Just Another Victim. Like, I just love that hook,
Oh yeah.
And,
dun 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 dun. Love that.
Yeah. And then, I don't know. I don't know if I can pick a favorite off of Purple Rain. I would say either Let's Go Crazy or the Beautiful Ones, and those two are so different from each other. I guess it would just have to depend on my mood. But honestly, like with that record, if I start the first track, I have to listen to it all the way through. Like I'm a diehard Prince fan, and like may he rest in peace. I just love that album. That's my absolute favorite Prince album out of anything that he's ever done. So there's that.
Joseph, if you had to pick songs from each soundtrack, what would you pick?
Well, on one hand, Judgment Night, we've been hearing Disorder being played ever since. It's hard for me, Disorder is, when I think of that soundtrack, I think of Slayer and Ice-T, and just that, Disorder! I hear that in my head in my dream. But if we're going for my favorite song of that, Living Color with Run DMC, myself, and my microphone is just so good. And as a huge fan of Living Color, it's everything you like about the band. It's them doing another great collaboration. If anyone who listens to the second record, Stained, I mean, that was full of great collaborations too. But this one, there's something special. So I will go with myself, and my microphone for that one. Purple Rain, it's cheesy, and like you don't want to pick the title track, but can we deny how good the title track to Purple Rain is? The guitar solo, like once that guitar solo hit, let's call it what it is. Every player ever since then has been trying to recreate that guitar solo.
That's right.
So not just because I enjoy it, but I think the importance that track has to music as a whole is so undeniable. I'd be a fool not to pick it. And yes, I should pick Kiss from a Rose. Kiss from a Rose is the greatest song ever made. But, when you're talking Seal, he's got slaps, bops, jinx all over the place. It's hard to not recognize his body of work. So I'd have to actually go with Hold Me, Thrill Me, Kiss Me, Kill Me by U2, because it's the only song they have that isn't complete garbage. And this crappy movie inspired them to make it. So that's magic in itself.
That's awesome.
Oh my God! So all I'm thinking about is that South Park episode. Bono doesn't want to be. Don't call me number 2. Take it back. Take it back. Yo, the chat. Oh my God! Look at the chat right now. So, Scotty Bannock says, I listen to Kiss from a Rose at least once a week. Elena Jet points out that Face to Face is off Batman Returns, not Batman Forever. Everyone else is just saying Prince for the win. Well, and then, everyone's just saying Purple Rain is it. Yo, everyone, what is, besides these 3 gems here, tell us a great movie soundtrack. We would love to know. Sound off in the comments. We want to know what your favorite movie soundtrack is, what's worth a re-listen or listen to if maybe you haven't heard, but let us know what your favorite movie soundtrack was. I just feel like movie soundtracks today, we hear about scores a lot, but I feel like the days of the soundtracks are dead. So I feel like this brings us back to an era where before a movie came out, we were excited for the fucking soundtrack, And I miss those days. Scotty Banks says Last Action, good one. Last Action Hero, Alice in Chains, yeah.
That's a good one.
Yes.
One of my favorite, Highlander, Queen, hello, yeah.
Yeah, I can't deny that. We were talking about Mortal Kombat soundtrack the other day, weren't we? That's a dope soundtrack too.
Absolutely. Typo Negative, Tracy Lords, GZR, Techno Syndrome. Man, the 80s and 90s, man, those soundtracks were all just man, there was always something.
That was the time.
Always something popping, dude, man. I feel like soundtracks are lost. And now, try buying a soundtrack now. They are hard to track down.
I mean, do they even do them the way that they used to? I mean, I haven't actually when I hear a song now, in a soundtrack, I just kind of go to Spotify and listen to that single. Do they actually compile them now the way that they used to?
I mean, sometimes a lot of these, some get vinyl re-releases. That's the thing. Vinyl's the high thing. And that's another thing interesting. Vinyl has outsold CDs for the first time since the I don't know, for the early 90s. It was just a big article the other day, vinyl It was on Loudwire that vinyl finally outsold CDs now for the preferred way to buy music, which doesn't surprise me, but it's still pretty cool to see that happen. Oh, so look at the chat right now. We got Guardians of the Galaxy. Yep. Any Edgar Wright movie, Scott Pilgrim, Baby Driver. Yeah. Yes.
I like that Scott Pilgrim soundtrack a lot. You know, it's got Plumtree on it. It's got a couple Beck songs. There's a band on there called Metric that I love. They do the song Black Sheep, the one that Brie Larson sings in the movie. There's a lot to like on that album.
Natural Born
Killers.
Killers.
I'll even be in defense of today's soundtracks a little bit. Like today's soundtracks, there aren't many of them, but we're also forgetting the Into the Spider-Verse soundtrack and somehow no one has mentioned the Black Panther soundtrack, which produced 4 #1 songs on Billboard, and how many? I'm always ready for a war again. Like, we've always seen that in our head. Like, maybe we're being a little rough on that, but I also see at the same time Venom with Tom Hardy. They just got like one song from Eminem where he just says Venom, Venom.
Yeah, it's like his worst song. I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Booksmart, but I think that also has like a really good soundtrack on it too.
Mark, another one you mentioned,
on there.
Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yeah. Man, I could have picked that one. That's a really good soundtrack. Like if you're into bluegrass and stuff, I really love that. T-Bone Burnett, Travis Tritt's on there, Alison Krauss. There's a lot to
I almost feel like we could do this range again. Like we could pick 3 different. No, I'm serious. We could pick 3 different soundtracks. Like this shit was fun, dude. Holy fuck. Jay, let me bring you back to your childhood. Space Jam. Wow. Cooler's Revenge. Oh wow. Yeah, you meant Sin City. Yeah, Kill Bill.
I'm not familiar with that.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Wow, like yo, you guys are great, man. Everyone's talking like, wow, this is great stuff, man. But yeah, no. We're glad we were able to share these soundtracks with you guys. I mean, if you heard them, great. If you haven't, just take a listen to them or re-listen to them. I mean, I think this is a topic we gotta do again. Like this was fucking fun, dude.
Ooh, trying to get out of the NerdCage, are ya? Well, before you go, hit that subscribe button. And if you're really intrigued, ring that bell. Thank you for dropping by. Until next time, tell everyone you know about NerdCage Live!